Hello, investors, and thank you for taking a look at my presentation today in regards to my fitness facility. We hope that you guys are impressed with the design that's presented, and hopefully our goal is to obtain the funding of $5 million so that we can go ahead and further implement all the components of this facility and to be able to maintain it and then to add further improvements as needed within the next 5 years. So we really hope you like what we have presented, and without further ado, initially we designed the fitness facility because we realized that there was no gyms within 10 miles of this area, and we felt like there was a huge need of people wanting to be physically active, and we felt like this location would be the ideal location, and therefore we decided to build a fitness facility. And not only just a fitness facility in a way like your typical 24-hour fitness or your LA Fitness, but this sports facility will actually have basketball courts, playground for children, and it'll also host professional basketball games at a semi-professional level. Those are the future plans. When we were coming up with the initial design, none of those plans were incorporated initially because the funding that was required initially, it was a little bit too cost heavy, and we felt like that was something that could be prioritized at a later time. So initially we kind of laid out the facility in a way where it just kind of models after your typical 24-hour fitness and your LA Fitness, but our long-term plans are much bigger with the goals and the vision that we have in mind. So with the initial design of the facility, this is what we have come up with. So as you can tell, it is very basic. It's a standard 10,000 square feet gym. It has a swimming pool, and it also has fitness and cardio equipment, and also has a separate weight area as well. And as you can tell in the back, we also have locker rooms, and we also have restrooms, shower areas, and places for people to change so that they can go ahead and get ready for their workout at our facility. So when we kind of came up with this initial plan, and when people started coming to our facility, we realized our initial design was flawed, but we didn't let that deter us from continuing on with our facility. So we came up with more aggressive plans and approaches to support our renovation, which happened not too long ago, and we felt like we addressed some of these immediate needs. So some of these needs that we saw when the facility was first implemented, we realized that we've only created a locker room for one sex. So there was no locker room for males or females. So it just seems like it was a unisex locker room in a way. And because of that, we received a lot of complaints. And one of the first things that we wanted to cover in our renovation plan was to ensure that we had separate locker room facilities for males and females. Secondly, we also had, it seems like a lot of the patrons in our area are very athletic and they are into sports, specifically basketball. So although we had our regular patrons coming in to get their exercise, a lot of the comments that we received was they were wanting to have a basketball court or some type of athletics to be able to kind of add some cardio after their weightlifting session. So because of that, we definitely did incorporate the basketball court into our future renovation plans. And as a result of us trying to improve our customer satisfaction, we wanted to focus on the ones that we felt like the customer needed the most. Lastly, we also received a lot of complaints, or not complaints, or more feedback from our patrons regarding childcare in our facility. Many times we think that people who are exercising are the young, single individuals who don't have a family, but contrary to that belief, we have a lot of families coming to our facility, and oftentimes our patrons are asking us whether we can provide childcare services or if we can provide an area for the children to play as well, so that way they can go ahead and still get their exercise while still addressing the need of childcare at the same time. We noticed that a lot of people, although they have the desire to exercise, childcare is something that typically gets in the way, and it prevents people from living an active lifestyle. So although some people still do make it into the fitness facility, we want to be able to reach those individuals who have a family but not able to provide proper childcare accommodations, and we want to be able to address those needs. We feel like the more customers that we have, the better, because we are the only gym in the area, and we want to grow our brand and eventually franchise out to the rest of the country to have locations within every 50 states. Right now we're thinking small and we're starting with this facility, but that is our long-term goal, and we hope to get there one day. So with those initial recommendations and plan put together by our team, we actually went forward with the renovation plans. So as you can tell in this renovation plan, we addressed a lot of the needs that our customers have complained about. So just taking a look at this floor plan here, now the square footage has been expanded from 10,000 square feet to 25,000 square feet. We had to expand this area because we needed more space to be able to actually incorporate all of the elements that we were thinking of implementing. So as you can see in the top left, we now have separate shower and locker room facilities for male and females. So ever since we implemented that, our customers were really happy. You can't believe the amount of compliments that we got from our patrons regarding how happy they were that now they don't have to share their locker room facilities of members of the opposite sex, and they were really happy. And also, you can see the swimming pool area was shrunk a little bit because we realized that the swimming pool was very seldomly used. It seems like the swimming pool was only used by our senior citizen patrons, and given that the population of senior citizen patrons are quite small, we often found that the pool was very empty and was not very often utilized. So because of that, we shrunk the pool size in half, and we utilized the other area to put in a children playground / daycare center, as you can see in the top right. So we put this in because a lot of our customers actually complain that they want their children to do something while they're getting their exercise, and we also even provided with trained daycare personnel to be able to watch over these kids and have proper check-in and check-out procedures in place with proper waiver forms for our patrons to sign. And to the left of that, you can also see we also addressed the athletic needs of our customers and incorporated a basketball court. So with this basketball court, we saw immediate use right away, and as of today, we are actually holding semi-professional games where athletes and fans show up and they get to play semi-professional games within that basketball court. And it's very popular. And you can also see the lobby area was expanded just to add just kind of overall openness to the gym as well, because we felt like before everything was kind of crammed into its space. So after we incorporated the renovations, our customer satisfaction rating has gone up quite significantly. Before, we felt like we were addressing a lot of complaints, and now it feels like we're addressing a lot of compliments. However, there's still a concern from our management team, and it's the amount of energy efficiency that we have within this building. So this building, when we acquired this building, is somewhat old. So the lighting, all the fixtures and like the lighting and stuff are pretty dated. So our first plan was to install solar panels on the roof of our building because eventually we want to become a LEED certified building and apply and install all the necessary energy efficient components into our facility, so that way we can go ahead and earn that certification. The first efficiency that we wanted to move forward with was the solar panels. After speaking to some third-party consultants and after talking with SoCal Edison, we realized that we were using a lot of energy from our facility. And given that we are a fitness facility, we shouldn't be using this much energy. So the first thing that we wanted to do was install solar panels. So once we installed the solar panels, we noticed that our energy consumption rate has dropped by 50%, which is really impressive and actually saves us a lot of cost and energy throughout the year. Although there was an initial cost to install the solar panels and put them in place, the time to recoup those costs were coming in just right under 5 years, and we've, as the management team, felt like it was necessary to kind of get some control on the excessive energy consumption and to be a better steward of the environment and not to use as much energy. Although we did reduce the energy consumption by 50%, we were still not satisfied. We wanted to just find more efficiencies wherever we can. And like I said earlier, given that this is an old building, we realized that the whole facility was outfitted with halogen lights, which were very outdated and they were consuming a lot of energy. So what we did, and we felt like this was a pretty low cost improvement, is we replaced all of the lighting fixtures with low energy, cost efficient LED bulbs. And because of those replacements, we have also seen an additional 30% reduction in energy. So combined with the 50% reduction with the solar panels and 30% reduction with the energy efficient LED lights, we were actually able to obtain 80% energy efficiency versus when we didn't have those enhancements, energy efficiency improvements in place. So lastly, we have noticed that our basketball games have gained quite a bit of popularity, and there's a lot of people showing up to these games. We did have a small incident the other day where there was a disagreement from a game, and there was a small argument that broke out. And since then, we have decided to put the proper security measurements in place as it's continuing to gain popularity. And we want to make sure that our patrons feel safe and there are no injuries and nobody feels they're not safe when they're visiting our facility. So because of that, on the nights where we have the semi-professional games, we have hired 10 security guards to be able to manage the event, to keep an eye out on the players' safety, and to monitor the fans to ensure that they are not interrupting the game or just not doing the right thing. So the security officers help us kind of manage that. And ever since we implemented that, we have seen no arguments or fights. And if it starts kind of leading towards that way, the security guards have been trained to de-escalate those situations. And it has been working out very well for us. So we feel like adding the security allows us to still maintain the competitiveness and the fun of the semi-professional basketball without any injuries or issues that arises from the sport. Lastly, injuries are something that is very unfortunate, but is also unavoidable. And within the fitness facility or anything athletic or sports related, there is a chance for injuries that may occur. So because of that, all of our employees, all of our staff are routinely trained on the emergency procedures, what to do in the event of an emergency or an injury. And even new hires, once they start, they have to go through this training, and it is probably the most important concept of our company. We feel like the safety of our patrons, the comfort of our patrons is number one, and we want to ensure that everybody feels that way. So we really emphasize that in our training, and then we preach that very consistently. So in addition to that, we also partner with our local hospital who kind of prioritizes our facility. In the event of an emergency, they're able to respond within 2 minutes because the vicinity to our facility. So that makes us feel even more comfortable that in the event that something does happen, we are able to provide support, we're able to provide all necessary needs to be able to address any potential situation. The belief at our facility is to be knowledgeable and prepared before the incident happens, and we try to preach that. and because of that, there has been no issues yet at our facility. So for the next 5 years, our goal is to continue to expand on our facility. We feel like although we just recently went through a renovation, we feel like we could definitely use more features to the gym, more space. The basketball courts are constantly being used very frequently, so we would like to further expand and add more courts as well, and to also add some, technological aspects to our gym as well too. Whether it may be contactless checking in or whatever it may be. But we do have a very aggressive growth plan for the next 5 years, and we hope that everything that we have presented and all the decisions that we have made from the initial plan to our renovation plan shows a level of confidence in you investors, and know that we are going to be heading in the right direction for the next 5 years. Our ultimate goal is to keep our customers happy, but also a very important goal of ours is to ensure that we are profitable as well. So if you were to invest in our facility, we will ensure to provide the best return on investment. We will be good recipients of the investment, and also be good partners, and to work with you to modify any plans that we may have put in place to wherever it fits best for the overall needs for our customers and our investors. Thank you.